Local newsman Adam can't wait to escape Alaska for a bigger TV market.
The avocado. This little guy and pretty much everything else in town has to take 4 separate plane rides to arrive up here.
But when a pod of whales gets trapped in the ice, the biggest story of his career comes to his doorstep.
I think Barrow might have one great story left in her.
With the help of his ex-girlfriend Rachel, they rally competing forces to free the whales in Big Miracle.
Big Miracle, we've all just seen it. What did you guys think?
Big Miracle is based off of a book called Freeing the Whales by Tom Rose, and it was written about 3 whales trapped on the ice in Barrow, Alaska in 1988. It's a family film, but it takes this Disney trope of slaughtering an animal in the first few minutes of its storyline, and it turns it on its head. We have a native Alaskan harpoon a whale, and throughout the rest of the film, you think that this tribesman is going to get villainized. But what this film, Big Miracle, does is actually shows a gradient on how animals should be treated and how people should respect the environment, but also use the environment to their own ends. It's a complex family film.
I have to admit that in the first 15 minutes, I got worried because you have Ted Danson enter the room, and he's this big oil tycoon who wants to drill Alaska, and then Drew Barrymore comes in as this Greenpeace person who's going to protest the fact that he gets this land to drill. And I thought, oh no. Here we're going to get some kind of environmental message, or they're going to shove some political message down our throat when it's not necessary. Then very quickly after that, you find out that's not the case. Ted Danson's not the villain in this movie. Everyone in this movie, whether it be Big Oil or Greenpeace, they have imperfections. They all come together for the greater good, which is to save the whales.
Ted Danson's character, he could have went in the cartoony realm, and he didn't. Drew Barrymore's Greenpeace character, I actually found her to be a little annoying. But towards the end of the film, she really started to develop, and we really got to see her more as a person.
The tensions in the film were realistic. You didn't think that these characters who were coming together for this one event were going to stay friends and family forever. The oil tycoon and the Greenpeace lady were just going to be chums drinking at the bar in 2 weeks after the whales are free.
A very nice scene happens toward the end of the movie where Ted Danson and Drew Barrymore meet on the ice, and he says, thank you. And you know that, yes, they're coming together for this, but like you said, they do plant the seed that those heads are going to clash again.
Because if it weren't for you, all 3 of those whales would be dead now.
You're not as easy to hate as I thought.
Neither are you.
Still doesn't change the way I feel about you trying to open up the Arctic Wildlife Refuge for drilling.
I think John Krasinski, Drew Barrymore, Kristen Bell, they did a really good job, but they did things that I've already seen them do before.
I agree completely. I mean, John Krasinski is essentially playing Jim from The Office. They come in and they do what's expected of them, but in a way that feels like a good metaphor for this story. The people who really took part in the story put their egos behind them in order to save the whales. These actors put their egos behind them in order to tell you a good story.
What's great about our actors is that they're dressed in very specific 1988 period clothing, hair, and makeup. And I love the special touch of Drew Barrymore. You see the frizz in her hair, and you see the fact that she's not wearing any makeup, and it's really realistic. It's not Hollywoodified. And that brings us to talking about production values. We have fantastic moving camera. We have a gorgeous setting. It's hard to go wrong with the elements that come to bring this film together.
And I thought that the extras that they cast, the Alaskan natives, I appreciated that. To me, they looked like they would be Alaskan natives. They weren't like the way in Entourage where everyone looks like a supermodel and it's just very distracting.
These things all succeed because of our director, Ken Kwapis. Ken Kwapis is known for directing for The Office. There goes the John Krasinski connection. And he did Beautician and the Beast. He's done a lot of great goofy comedies, a lot of very smart comedies as well. And he makes it easy for audiences of adults and children to enjoy.
I thought this was a really great family film that hit all the right beats. And it reminded me a lot of, not only because it also used a whale, but of Free Willy in the fact that they did it in a way that wasn't cheesy, that didn't rely on cheap antics or fart jokes. It was just like a smart family film that a lot of people can enjoy.
The more I think about it, the more I like it. A wonderful surprise. See it.
Big Miracle has some cheesy moments, but no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, you can go with a member of the other side and see it.
If you take your family to see this movie, they'll have a whale of a time. See it.
Looks like our votes add up to 3 tickets, which is an enthusiastic see it for Big Miracle.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.